the entire text in one day. Please rest assured and enjoy watching, darlings. The grandmother of the eldest daughter of the Jing family took a liking to me. The eldest daughter gave me 2,000 points to pretend to be her boyfriend, to make her grandmother happy. I couldn't stop grinning. 3 months later, her childhood sweetheart returned to the country. The eldest daughter warned me, "Stay away from him." I didn't sneer. "I know. I'm not competing with him for you." Sigh. When the heiress from the Beijing circle approached me, I was busy trying to get someone to help me with a group discount. She got straight to the point. "My grandmother has taken a liking to you." Taken a liking to me? Are you trying to mess with me? This doesn't seem right. She glanced at me with a look that said I was an idiot. Pretend to be my girlfriend? Why should I? I'll give you 20 million. My grandmother just had surgery. Once she recovers, we can peacefully break up. I heard it all. I am infatuated with you. Give some leeway. The next second, a text notification. XX Bank. Your account has been credited. In RMB. With 7 zeros. I confirmed for 7 weeks. My legs feel a bit weak. Do you have any requests? You have to act in a way that makes everyone believe. That's it. I don't need to get up every morning and count out to you or anything like that. She glanced at me again with a look that said I was an idiot. Then you can just transfer the money directly. Aren't you afraid I'll run off with it? Do you think you can get away? I'm sure of it. There's no escaping it. The story starts from yesterday. I got fired from my job. Then I dragged my buddy out for a drink. I'm a lightweight, and my drinking manners aren't great. When I'm drunk, I like to kiss beautiful women. So there I was. When the famous young lady from the Beijing circle walked by, I grabbed her collar and kissed her. The young lady was stunned for a few seconds, then suddenly pushed me away. The window of the Maybach by the roadside rolled down. An elderly lady with graying hair stuck her head out, beaming with joy. "My dear granddaughter, you finally made something of yourself." My brother looked at me with shining eyes when he said, "You kissed the big shot's daughter from the capital. Can you kiss me like that?" Rounding up, I basically kissed her. Kiss, kiss, kiss. All you think about is kissing. Have you ever thought that this might have offended her? She is Ruyan, a legend in the business world, a ruthless heiress from the Beijing elite. I imagined all sorts of ways she might retaliate against me, but I never expected she would use money to crush me. I checked my bank account balance again. I immediately decided not to bargain. I bought it at the original price. I used to think that dating a high society lady from Beijing would let me experience the upper class life from novels, like taking a helicopter to go out, having afternoon tea on a yacht, and being able to find out everything about someone within a minute if I was curious about them. The truth is, meetings and more meetings, leaving early and coming back late, working nonstop. Ruyan seems like a work machine. In the luxurious villa in the city center, I often find myself alone in an empty house. By mistake, I moved into her place just because her grandmother mentioned it once. Now, don't most young couples live together? You two live separately. The next day, Ruyan moved in with me. Saved on rent. I gained again. Orange. To show the depth of our relationship, I would bring her dinner at the office every day. Although it didn't look great and tasted average, it was made by me after all. She is always busy with meetings and seeing clients. I haven't seen her, but according to her assistant, did she eat all those dishes? It seems quite easy to feed. The day my brother had his heart broken, I didn't bring food to Ruyan. He drank heavily at the bar. I watched over him as my duty, without touching a drop of alcohol myself. But I still got drunk. No one told me there was alcohol in the drink. Seeing me enter a dazed state, my buddy immediately put down his drink, covered my eyes, and started pulling me out, but inevitably through the gaps in his fingers. I saw a figure. Fair skin, clear eyes, and somewhat familiar. I broke free from my brother and put my arm around the shoulder of that pretty girl. Sister, so beautiful that girl was stunned, looking at me in horror. Liu box? I didn't. Mr. G and I are innocent. I couldn't understand what she was saying, just watching her small mouth open and close. I suddenly lowered my head and kissed. My waist twisted sharply. The pain made me grimace. The moment I saw the person in front of me clearly, I was startled into full alertness. Black flower grass. Essence? Scrape. A cold voice came from above my head. Boyfriend. Is he in such a hurry to cheat on me? She won't get so angry that she demand the 20 million back, right? Just thinking about it, I simply lay in her arms, pretending to sleep. Her embrace is very warm, with a faint, soothing fragrance, inexplicably calming. So as I pretended and pretended, I actually fell asleep. When I woke up, it was already midnight. I was lying safely in my own bedroom bed. Nothing had happened. I heaved a deep sigh of relief. But as soon as I entered the living room, I saw Ruyan sitting on the sofa with her legs crossed up, staring at the laptop screen with a blank expression. I was momentarily lost in thought. Speaking of which, since moving to the villa, she has been leaving early and returning late. I haven't seen much of her at all. Even when I do see her, it's just a fleeting glance. Take a closer look this time. She truly is a beauty. Like a face precisely calculated by AI. Perfect body proportions. Sitting there so nonchalantly. It's as if she's not in the same dimension as ordinary people. No wonder her online popularity is higher than those trending idols. Why are you looking at me? Is your pretty sister more attractive? She didn't even lift her head. Her tone was dripping with sarcasm. I took a sharp breath, put on a sincere smile, and approached her. How could she be more attractive than you? That was a misunderstanding. Misunderstanding. Gee Boda. If what happened today reaches Grandma's ears, do you know what the consequences will be? This won't happen again. I promise I won't touch a drop of alcohol from now on. Be your boyfriend. You are the only beauty. So strong. Just coax her. She chuckled lightly. How much is your promise worth? Is it worth 20 million? It definitely isn't. If coaxing her doesn't work, then just play the rogue. Talking about money too much can hurt feelings, you know? I want to squeeze onto a single sofa with her, staring at her intently, and then slowly approaching, pretended to kiss her. She suddenly jumped up. What are you doing? Just trying to comfort you, right? Gee Boda. Do you always kiss women so casually? You were the one who said, we should pretend to be a couple. We need to act convincingly so everyone believes it. Include me among everyone, right? I coaxed my girlfriend by kissing her. I was being serious and logical. I gained the upper hand. She gave me a steady look. It seemed like she was gritting her teeth. She went into the room. As the study door closed, she left me with 2 sentences. Don't forget to bring me dinner tomorrow. And also, no more drinking from now on. From now on, I'll check the ingredients before drinking anything. But one day after that, as soon as I walked in, I smelled a strong scent of alcohol. It was Ruyan who was drunk. She was quietly lying on the couch, her long legs dangling halfway off. It was somewhat amusing. I went over and patted her on the shoulder. Ruyan, go sleep on the bed. She slowly opened her eyes. Her eyes were moist. Hello! How could this still be the formidable Liu He of the business world? She was simply adorable. I couldn't help but poke her cheek. Ruyan, are you still awake? Reason, who are you? You seem really out of it. Teasingly, I felt my heart stir. I replied to her, I am your bone, brother. Yes, call me brother, let me hear it. She nodded. Each word popped out one by one. Bone, bone, brother, brother. I feel like my heart is about to burst. How old are you? 6 years old. Oh, no wonder you're so well behaved. After saying that, she suddenly, fearfully leaned into my arms, with a sobbing voice full of grievance. Brother, why don't they like me? Why does no one like me? Hui is alone, no matter how drunk she gets. It's also a person. She is a woman 2 years older than me. The claim that it can't be washed off is false, but it only panicked for a few seconds. After all, she was too beautiful. I cooperatively encircled her. Who doesn't like you? You're so well behaved. So good looking. How could anyone not like you? Don't like. They all don't like. Mom doesn't like. Dad doesn't like either. They all don't like me. Her chest trembled slowly. Scalding liquid dripped into the hollow of my neck. She looked utterly aggrieved. It was only then that I realized, in the more than a month we had lived together, I had never seen her parents. Given her status as a prominent lady in Beijing, her family should be quite large. But even when we went to her grandmother's house for dinner, there were only the three of us at the table. Perhaps even the young lady of the Jing family has her own difficult story. I don't know the reasons behind it. I can only offer my sincere comfort. They like you. All of them like you. Not just them, but also grandma and brother. They all like you. Really. Fu Min laughed with such innocence and brightness. Truly like a 6-year-old. Her expressions changed in an instant. Then she turned into a child, jumping from the sofa to the coffee table, switching the TV to the Boony Bears channel, moving the flowers from the balcony to the living room, lining them up like a train. I held my forehead and sighed, feeling so tired I could die. But she pulled me to play hide and seek. I came to pretend to be her boyfriend. Not to play with kids, but I couldn't control her at all. After several struggles, under the circumstances, she made a condition, asking me to kiss her once. Her bones and kin. Brother, kiss her, she's being coy. My scalp feels a bit tingly. How old are you now? I asked again. 6. A 6-year-old child in the county. I don't know how to divide it. I tried to convince myself. Comprehensive rescue will push away taboos. I wiped her face, which was covered in dirt from playing. Gently kissed her once. She indeed stopped, looking very satisfied. Then she instantly fell asleep on the floor. The next day, as soon as I opened my eyes, I received a message from Ruyan. There's a banquet tonight. Accompany me to attend it. TSK. It seems she has already forgotten about last night. It's just as well if she forgets. Otherwise, who knows how she would mock me. The more I attended these gatherings, the more it satisfied my fantasies about high society. The banquet was held on a luxurious cruise ship. Nobles and aristocrats. Extravagance on full display. As soon as Ruyan appeared, she was surrounded by a group of old acquaintances. Polite greetings poured out one after another, and glasses clinked continuously. Liu, it's rare to see you bring a male companion to the banquet. Yes. This is the first time, right? I found it somewhat amusing. I always feel that what they say is similar to the line from a novel where the butler says, "It's been a long time since I saw Miss Smile like this." It's quite similar in a way. Spicy. The smile was very official. Let me introduce my boyfriend, G. Boater. After nodding in acknowledgement, they started talking about the business environment. I found it boring, so I stepped aside. There was a lot of delicious food at the venue, especially the fried chicken and the rice dishes. I unexpectedly met Ruyan's gaze. The next second, she continued to chat effortlessly, raising glasses and toasting. Feeling inexplicably bewildered, suddenly someone exclaimed on the deck. A meteor had streaked across the sky. When I went out, many people were clasping their hands and making wishes. I closed my eyes along with them, and without hesitation, I made a wish. I wished for a lot of money. An endless amount of money. When I opened my eyes, the person next to me startled me. Mr. Shou, long time no see. Yi Sheng, the head of the Yi group. The client boss who wanted to take advantage of me. After all, no one likes men like that. At that moment, I kicked him hard in his vital area. After escaping the scene, I received a dismissal letter from the company. Later on, no company would dare to hire me now. I really want to kick him into the sea, but it's just a thought. I don't want to cause trouble. I tried to walk around him. Recycle. Mr. G, where are you working now? To be able to attend such a high-profile banquet, you must be kept by that rich woman, right? Tell me who it is. I have to expose you to her. Ying Bao. He suddenly fell to the ground in a sorry state. It was Liu Ruyan who kicked him. He lay on the ground wailing in pain. Liu He, he's your date. Liu Nian, don't be fooled by her appearance. This man is very scheming. He used to seduce female clients. Another crisp sound echoed. This time, it was Liu Ruyan's slap landing on his face. Every time he made a sound, Liu Ruyan would swing her hand again. In the end, he could barely make a sound. I was so shocked that I couldn't speak. I could only hurriedly pull Liu Ruyan forward. Liu Ruyan grasped my wrist in return. She spoke to Yisheng, enunciating each word clearly. Apologize to him. I'm sorry, I'm really sorry. Ji Boda, I owe you an apology. It was me who approached you first. It's my fault. A belated apology. Yet it still brings a sense of relief. Liu Ruyan led me to the edge of the deck railing. Many people were looking at us. A faint smell of alcohol lingered around. She could barely stand steady. You're not drunk again, are you? I asked her warily. How old are you now? 26. I breathed a sigh of relief. Seems like she's not drunk. She moved a little closer. The wind howled past, but her words lingered in my ears for a long time. Ji Boda. My boyfriend can't be wronged. Is quite alluring. Isn't she quite good at flirting? How is she still single? Could there be something wrong with her? Then I suddenly remembered. According to my buddy's gossip, Liu Ruyan has a white moonlight, a famous young master from the capital. Young Master Ito Makoto of the Ito family, based on the bits and pieces seen online. The two of them were childhood sweethearts, deeply in love. But 3 years ago, Ito Makoto went abroad for his career. Since then, they have had no contact. No other man has appeared by Liu Ruyan's side. Everyone speculates that she is waiting for Ito Makoto. Looking at it this way, she is quite devoted. How long has it been? When I brought dinner to Liu Ruyan as usual, I saw Makoto Ito in her office. I stood at the door, unsure whether to enter or leave. In front of her first love. Should we still pretend to be a couple? If we keep pretending, wouldn't it hinder their reconciliation? Caught in hesitation and conflict, I turned back to D-Man and introduced him as my boyfriend, Lee Boda. Then introduced me to the company's new legal advisor, Makoto Ito. Let's take a look at the books. I guess Liu Ruyan wants to use me to provoke Ito. To achieve their goal of reconciliation. She's really a mountain girl. Makoto Ito greeted me warmly. I've heard so much about you. Meeting you today must be fate. How about we have a meal together? Maybe I've read too many novels. I always feel like his words have a hidden edge. I've imagined many scenarios where he, as the perfect love interest, declares war on me, the villainous supporting character. Should I accept the challenge? If I do, how should I handle it? I played out a grand drama in my mind. Halfway through the meal, Makoto Ito suddenly laughed. You two aren't a real couple, are you? I choked on my water and looked at Liu Ruyan. Liu Ruyan shook her head helplessly. How did you figure it out? Don't forget, I'm a lawyer. I'm best at reading people. Mr. G's gaze at you is filled with a sense of duty towards work. Without a trace of love, Liu Ruyan tilted her head and glanced at me. Her eyes slightly darkened. I guiltily turned my head away. Is my acting really that bad? Makoto Ito gazed at Ruyan Liu. As for you, It's still the same as before. I can't see through it. Liu Ryan nodded. Grandma has always been hoping I'd get a boyfriend. To put her mind at ease. That's why, as you can see. Then it opened. Then I won't have to feel like I'm sitting on pins and needles. I cautiously glanced at him. I took another look at her and then left. Makoto Ito pulled me to his side. Why sit down if you're going to leave? I don't want to have dinner with a single woman. Makoto Ito truly deserves the title of White Moonlight. He's wise and handsome, graceful and generous. After just one meal with him, I felt even Liu Ryan was reaching to high. We exchanged green bubbles and agreed to drink together next time. On the way back, I praised Makoto Ito all the way. Liu Ryan seemed to be in a bad mood. The aura around her has always been cold. Could it be that I interrupted their private world? Proud, I plan to make some amends. I want to clarify my stance on assisting in governance. Liu Ryan, I won't be bringing you dinner anymore. After all, if Makoto Ito sees it, not very good. I thought she would appreciate my thoughtfulness and perceptiveness. Observing colors. As a result, her face turned even paler. She just coldly left a single sentence. It's up to you. Who made her the client, after all? Unconditionally accept all the emotions of Party A. This is my work guide. So I happily replied, all right. On Grandma's 80th birthday, Ito Seiya has left. Watching Grandma treat her like her own grandchild, I consciously took a few steps back, but after a while, Grandma called me over to her side. There were many guests coming to celebrate her birthday, each one trying to get Liu Ryan to drink. Without a doubt, Liu Ryan got dead drunk. Ito Makoto and I carried her to the car. Scenes from that night when she got drunk and acted like a 6-year-old flashed through my mind. Then I took a few seconds to sort things out, to understand the complex relationship among the three of us. In the end, they pushed Makoto Ito into the cockpit. Make sure to lock their car properly. Makoto Ito, I suddenly have something urgent to deal with. Could you please take Liu Ryan home? The key is with her. I don't have time. I have to go now. In a flash. I hailed a taxi and got in. I'm so considerate, creating a chance for them to reconcile. Liu Ryan should be extremely grateful to me. I went shopping alone. Watched a movie. The movie is very boring. I fell asleep. I even dreamed of Liu Ryan calling me brother. I guess she's already been coaxed to sleep by Makoto Ito. Okay, she stood before Makoto Ito. You must be very well behaved. They should reconcile soon, right? I knocked my own head. Why think about her? When the movie ended, I just discovered a dozen missed calls from Liu Ryan. Phone, even if you want to thank me, there's no need to call so many times in the middle of the night, right? Then, she called again. I answered and said nonchalantly, no need to thank me, but her nervous voice interrupted. Gee, Boater, where are you? I was stunned for a moment. I'm at my brother's place. I have something to do tonight, so I won't be coming back. Her voice is still hoarse. She must not have sobered up completely. I was extremely puzzled. Where is Makoto Ito? Makoto Ito. How would I know about her? She actually didn't leave anyone to take care of her. Oh, it's nothing. It was today that she took you back. Do you understand what I mean? Are you very happy, Miss Jing? But she didn't seem to be pleased by it. Reverse grounding returned a character. I guess she's secretly delighted. Alright then, I'll hang up now. Wait a moment. There was a hint of urgency in her words. Then she slowly said, Gee, Boater, remember to come home tomorrow. The next day, I still hadn't returned. A headline appeared in the Beijing Circle. The mystery of the Beijing Circle heiress. Explosive news. News brief is not of the Liu family's bloodline. Grandmother came to me first. The old lady was heartbroken. Tell me the whole truth, every single detail. That year, Liu Ryan's mother had an accidental pregnancy. Later, I met Uncle Liu. The two fell in love and quickly got married. But at that time, her pregnancy had lasted too long. It's too late for an abortion. Liu Ruyan was born into the Liu family like this. Grandma and the others treated Liu Ruyan as if she were one of their own, to love and cherish one's own child. But as Liu Ruyan grew older, moreover, her mother had been unwell since giving birth to her. Body can no longer get pregnant. She started to beat and scold Liu Ruyan, bursting into tears at the slightest provocation, wished she would die. Seeing this, Grandma took Liu Ruyan by her side and raised her. Later, her mother fell ill from accumulated grief and passed away within a few years. Uncle Liu had deep and unwavering feelings for her mother. I swear never to marry again. From then on, I traveled to all corners of the world, started doing charity work. Since the age of 15, Liu Ruyan had followed Ling Li Group's regulations. At the age of 18, she single-handedly supported the entire corporation, winning the wholehearted approval of countless veteran shareholders. She walked a long and muddy road alone. Her net life has been tough since childhood. Grandma is like a goddess. Dada, oh, can you help Grandma persuade her? She probably will only listen to you. No wonder. No one said those things when she was drunk. She felt aggrieved like a child. I went to find her. She was attending an internet conference. The conference was being live-streamed in high definition. Countless onlookers had already flooded the live stream, posting comments. Throughout the conference, there were people watching on their phones, until the end of the meeting when the host switched to the comment section. Now let's take a look at the questions from the netizens. Let's have the experts present answer everyone's questions. When the comments appeared on the screen, the audience was in an uproar. The fake young lady. Liu Ruyan is not a blood relative of the Liu family at all. If Liu Ruyan didn't have the Liu family, it's nothing at all. Let that arrogant and haughty Liu Ruyan answer. By what means did you obtain the qualification to become the head of the Liu family? I am a talent scout. Do you want to develop your career in the entertainment industry? Liu He? Netizens speak without any scruples, often saying the harshest things, which are also the most hurtful. Liu Ruyan sat there quietly, her straight back seemingly bent, for a long time. For Liu Ruyan, the frenzy of the netizens might not be enough to shake her, but that fact alone was enough to leave her flustered, because I had seen it. The way she longed for her parents' love. Soon, Yisheng stood up at the live broadcast site. Hey, Liu He, the netizens are very interested in your personal affairs. Everyone present had seen Liu He's tactics before. In the past, you relied on old Liu to have everything go smoothly. We respect you for her sake, but who would have thought you weren't even her biological child? But Liu Dai really attracts scumbags. Hearing this, Liu Ruyan suddenly stood up. Yisheng was obviously doing it on purpose, deliberately provoking her to make a mistake. This time was different from the last time at the banquet. This time, the entire conference was being live-streamed. Moreover, many participants are top investors from both domestic and international markets. Two conglomerates are bidding for this year's most important contract, the project. If Liu Ruyan made a mistake, then Yisheng can sit back and reap the benefits. He's such a scumbag. How can I ever win against Liu Ruyan? Finally, before Liu Ruyan's fist, I called out to her. The entire place fell silent. Everyone was watching. I grabbed the host's microphone and copied the contents of the USB drive onto the computer, projected onto the big screen. The first recording is of her trying to manipulate me. The second recording is of her trying to manipulate another guy. The third item is that she used unspoken rules on someone completely, trying to silence him with money, with video evidence. A total of 13 items. Each piece of evidence is conclusive. This lofty figure, the illustrious head of the Yi family, actually, he's a reliable person. A person's success cannot be achieved solely through blood ties. Everyone has witnessed the capabilities of Liu He. This matter is not her fault. It's not anyone's fault. It won't become a mark on her. Just because some people are throwing a fit. In the end, I took out the evidence that Yisheng had bribed the meteor to widely spread the mystery of Liu Ruyan's background. It was something Liu Ruyan's assistant had investigated before coming here. I don't know why he chose this moment to reveal Liu Ruyan's private matters. The purpose of hiring a large number of trolls to mindlessly attack her is what? Very soon, the live stream has ended. The police have arrived. Yisheng was taken away in a very disheveled state. I looked just as disheveled. I had never seen such a scene before. When had I ever dared to speak such impassioned words in front of so many people? My legs were trembling. She couldn't stand steadily. Liu Ruyan was surrounded by reporters. They asked her if she had anything to say about it. She seemed much more relaxed. The corners of her mouth lifted slightly, feeling protected by her boyfriend. It felt great. Then she pushed through the crowd, striding over to my side, and hugged me tightly. I covered my face. I admit I felt a bit embarrassed. But don't laugh. She held me tighter. It's not embarrassing to laugh, especially when you're handsome. Barbecue night. Liu Ruyan's gaze was fixed on me. Her voice was very soft. Ji Boda, why did you help me today? Oh, I had prepared that evidence a long time ago. It was just a convenient thing to do. And then, I don't know if it's just an illusion, but there seemed to be a hint of expectation in her eyes. My heart felt a bit chaotic. Also, aren't we supposed to be fake lovers? Of course, we need to act convincingly. This is how I treat my girlfriend. And then, that's it. She smiled a bit unnaturally. Then, when your girlfriend was still waiting for her luck to return to the bureau, Liu Ruyan and her grandmother hugged each other and wept. We talked for a long time. Emergency joint statement from the shareholders of Liu Corporation, acknowledging Liu Ruyan's indispensable role in the Liu Corporation. Lacking passion. The schemes of those with ill intentions online fall apart on their own. Liu Ruyan is still the same Liu Ruyan. I will not fall. It's just that I can let go more calmly. Actually, I had already started preparing to take Yisheng to court. The court adjourned. I knew that with just my own situation, it wasn't enough to make him stumble. So I visited everyone she had either manipulated or attempted to manipulate. They all wanted justice for themselves too. Before, I just felt that an arm couldn't twist a thigh, but once I united them, they could definitely twist it. I hired Makoto Ito as the plaintiff's lawyer to work with her on coordinating the relevant evidence and materials. Before I knew it, evening had arrived. After organizing the materials, Makoto Ito asked me out for a drink. But Liu Ruyan called. Ji Boder, what's wrong? Why haven't you come home yet? Makoto Ito impatiently snatched the phone away. Got it. Send your fake boyfriend back right away. I was bewilderedly shoved into the passenger seat by Makoto Ito. He drove me back home. This development is a bit strange. They don't seem to have any intention of getting back together. Is it because Makoto Ito feels that the current relationship is too complicated? Miscellaneous. It's inconvenient. I walked around the building a few times. I just can't figure it out. Why are you standing here instead of going upstairs? She casually crossed her arms. The dim light cast a glow on her lazy strands of hair, giving a sense of tranquil serenity. Nothing, just nothing. It looks a bit awkward. Can you stay away from Makoto Ito? I choked up. An inexplicable bitterness arose in my heart. Is she worried about my maliciousness? The male supporting character heard her white moonlight. I know. I'm not competing with her for you. What are you taking from me? I was afraid she would fight with me, but she suddenly stopped. It was as if I understood something. Did you misunderstand? The relationship between Makoto Ito and me. Misunderstand what? Weren't you childhood sweethearts who were mutually in love? She raised her eyebrows slightly. A faint smile appeared at the corner of her mouth. His tone was unusually patient. Makoto Ito's grandmother and my grandmother are good friends. When she was little, she stayed at my house for a while. Time, if I must talk about childhood sweethearts, barely counts. But she and I have never had much contact. Besides, she doesn't like women. Those rumors online have no credibility at all. The crowd was dumbfounded, so it was all a misunderstanding. I've been performing solo all along. It's the end, right? The journey of taste. Many companies have extended olive branches to me. Grandma's health has almost fully recovered. I think it's time for me to start a new life. So I picked a time and talked to Ruyan about breaking up peacefully. She just responded lightly. Okay, you can leave at any time. That night, she didn't go back. After I finished packing my things, I just felt a bit empty. Until the next morning, Ruyan came back drunk. She stumbled and fell onto me. Her eyes were misty, tinged with a restrained redness. It was so much. Hand delivered. Jibota, I can still drink. Ruyan, how old are you? She held up 3 fingers. Proudly said 6 years old. Very soon. She turned into a little rascal again. I played with her for a while, following her drunken routine. In the end, she still cried and demanded a kiss from her brother. I couldn't resist her. So I wiped her face again. As I leaned down, she hooked her arms around my neck, pulling me in forcefully. My mind went completely blank. I didn't pull away. She kissed me for a long time, until the moving company knocked on the door. I suddenly woke up and broke free from her. I got up to get my luggage. I moved the luggage several times. Ruyan remained curled up on the sofa, motionless. Finally, I returned to close the door. She suddenly reached out and caught it in the gap. Her knuckles were squeezed and deformed. Startled, I let go. Her voice was hoarse. Jinping asked cautiously, "Can I confess my feelings to you?" It felt like my heart was empty for a moment, until that very second. I didn't fully grasp the reality of our impending separation for more than 3 months. It was like a brilliant dream. I have to admit, there were many moments of inexplicable heartbeats that she gave me. But I am very clear-headed and aware there is too much acting involved. I'm not sure. Those moments, is it because of the surge in acting skills that dopamine is produced? I mean, I'm not sure if those moments will stay with me. Our performance, dreams that fade away and disappear are, after all, just dreams. In the end, we will return to our own paths. When it comes to feelings, I can't handle uncertainty. So I replied to her, "Not good." I returned to the workplace. The career is smooth sailing all the way. I am gradually becoming the person I aspire to be. But by my side, there's a clingy person. Ruyan is pursuing me, and her approach is very straightforward. She's quite unconventional. As long as I ignore her, my bank account gets credited with millions of yuan. Although I love money, I still have some principles, so I have to pay attention to her to stop her from transferring money recklessly. She has a strong desire to share. From what projects she signed today, the weather today is great. It's like she can't wait to live stream her life to me in real time. I suspect she's been possessed. Where did her aloofness go? She just looked at me with a pitiful expression. How could I dare to be aloof? Watching the huge daily deposits in the account and that handsome face that often makes my colleagues envious, I suddenly felt, who cares if she acts or not? Being beautiful and throwing money at me is real, right? So on a rainy night when she was waiting for me to get off work, I said to her, "Ruyan, I want to drink." She instantly replied, "No, you accompany me." Well, that's not impossible. In the end, we didn't go drinking. Those feelings that should have been induced by alcohol surfaced the moment our noses touched. It spiraled out of control. Daily love life with the young lady from the Beijing circle. It could practically be called a daily kissing routine. I moved back to her villa again, getting kissed by her anytime, anywhere. For this, she even set rules for the butler and the cleaning staff. From now on, they must not before entering the living room. Even at Grandma's house, she was not the least bit shy, just at the moment they were about to kiss. I urgently covered my mouth. She looked aggrieved. Do you not like me anymore? Even if you don't like me, please don't leave me, okay? I can be your concubine. Her face, where is her face? She said that the moment I drunkenly kissed her by the roadside, she didn't care about her dignity anymore. She pried my hand away and continued to try to kiss me. A figure slowly moved in from the side. Grandma. I wanted to jump into the pond. Ruyan, on the other hand, was acting nonchalantly. Grandma, Dada is shy. If you scare him away, you'll be responsible. Grandma laughed so hard she couldn't close her mouth. You to carry on. I just love watching young people fall in love. Grandma seemed to have thought of something again. She gave Ruyan a sidelong glance and muttered, I don't know when you'll actually get married. Useless granddaughter. Ruyan was suddenly scolded. She turned and leaned on my shoulder. Acting spoiled, can you help me? To become a useful granddaughter. Later, I helped her. We got our marriage certificate. That night, the socialite of Beijing's elite circle can only be described with 4 words. A lustful ghost. The next day, when I checked my phone, I was dumbfounded. Ruyan, it's all your fault. I finally got it. She firmly held it in her hand. Lazy, blame me. Next time I will definitely change. She smiled with such satisfaction, I must have lost my mind to actually blush because of a single word from her. And then we got married, had adorable children. Many years passed without us noticing. Getting jealous of the kids. It became Ruyan's new routine. All members,